We worked together in the same law firm. We'd known each other for a long, long time before we got married. We were friends before we fell in love with each other. It was just the lovely feeling of companionship we had, because we had a lot of mutual interest and we seemed to think the same way. Just having him there completed my life. 3 weeks after we came back from our honeymoon, he was appointed to the bench. He was a judge for nearly 13 years. He'd had a very busy year in court, and we were down staying at the place we had on the Northern Beaches. And he went off to play golf one day and he was very tired, and he couldn't finish the 18 holes. He tried a second time and he felt even tireder. And so we went to the GP, who organised a blood test, and it turned out that he was anaemic. The gastroscopy he had demonstrated that he had a tumour in his stomach. He had surgery within a month. It turned out to be a very unusual form of stomach cancer. And with that, chemotherapy and radiotherapy wasn't going to be helpful. There was a clinical trial, a specific treatment and a specific targeted therapy that would help. The medication was wonderful. It started working immediately. With this targeted medication, a PET scan established the little lumps were shrinking. Alan recovered really quickly from the surgery, kept taking the medication, and that kept going for nearly 4.5 years effectively, and we had no problems at all. And we just went back to living a normal life and doing what we'd done before we became ill, including our travelling. About 5 months before he died, Alan's health started to decline. Some scans indicated that there could have been some metastasising or metastases in his spine. And that was really the start of things sort of going a bit haywire. The last few weeks before he died, he was getting very frustrated. He was frustrated because he couldn't remember things. He was frustrated because he wasn't getting any better. So I did have a feeling of relief, but obviously great sadness. You know, trials aren't cheap. And you can't always get the research money from the different government authorities that do fund a lot of trials. First-line trials and second-line trials are very, very necessary, but they don't attract government funding. They don't attract funding from the medical research institutions, because they're still only a possibility, not a probability. The more research we can do with clinical trials to improve treatments, to improve medications that will treat people, the more chance we have of turning cancer into a chronic illness rather than a fatal illness. You know, when you get a cancer diagnosis, you're in despair. That was my reaction anyway. But knowing there are treatments out there can take that despair away, because you've got hope that a treatment will keep you going just a bit longer. And you know, while you're alive, there's always the opportunity there will be more treatments which will work.